welcome to this episode of my Women Empowerment Wednesday show. My name is Jessica DSB. Enjoy this episode.
Awesome! We are live. We had technical difficulties. Yay! Happy, wonderful Women Empowerment Wednesday. Let me just make sure, because I always make sure on my phone. Yes, awesome. And I'm going to share it to your page, Miss Special Guest, so that you can, let me see. Okay, hold on. Awesome. I'm going to tag you in the comments as well. Yay! Awesome. We are live. Women Empowerment Wednesday show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those that are just seeing me for the first time, my name is Jessica. Am I hearing again the sound? Hold on. Yay! Awesome. We are live. Women Empowerment Wednesday show. Not working. Oh my God. Tag you in the comments as well. Okay. Let's continue and make it work. No? Are you
now?
Oh, it's you?
I'm getting the echo now.
Okay, we're good. Oh my God. Let's start again. Happy Women Empowerment Wednesday. Yes, yes. Technology, it happens. So welcome to all of you that are watching live. Oh my God, this is so cool. Now there's writing. I just noticed below. Woohoo! So my name is Jessica. Who I am is an entrepreneur. I am a 2-time best international selling author. I am an entrepreneur, and I am the founder of the Women Empowerment Wednesday show. I come here every single week, every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, joined with a very special guest every single week, different topics to have empowering, inspiring, and touching conversations, different topics that not only to have that conversation between me and the special guest, but to bring upon a movement where you can bring those conversations that you're hearing every single week into the lives of the people that you care about. So thank you to all of you that have been supporting me, watching me since the beginning. And if you're just joining us this week, welcome. And all my videos are uploaded on my YouTube channel, Jessica DSB. And you are welcome to join my wonderful, empowered Facebook group, which is Women Empowerment by Jessica DSB. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Marissa. Hello, Gordon. Welcome. Actually, I wanted to talk about you, Gordon, so stay with us for a few more minutes. So our special guest today, Miss Rosemary Gibbs. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the last name properly. Perfect. Who she is, she's been 25 years and plus in the mortgage financing professional, speaker, trainer, 2-time best international selling author in the same book. We both are together in 365 Empowering Stories. If you haven't got your copy, make sure to message us. She is all about women empowerment, and welcome, welcome, welcome to the show, Rosemary. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Jessica. It is such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this morning.
Awesome. Welcome. We'll get into the details of who you are. And just before I do that, I want to touch upon the fact on how we actually connected, how we met. And I wanted to give a huge shout out to Mr. Gordon. So because we actually connected through their Landed for Success Speed online virtual networking events. I think I'm adding words there, but anyways, networking events, which is an event they do every single month. It's actually next Thursday, next week, not tomorrow, next Thursday. Every last Thursday of the month, they have a free networking event. I am really, really inviting you to join. We'll post the links in there, but it's an amazing event and we got to meet there. And today we're joined together on the Women Empowerment Wednesday show, and we're going to have such an empowering conversation. So thank you for being here. And Rosemary, for those that are just seeing you for the first time, can you share a bit more about who you are?
Oh my, who am I? Well, I've learned over the last number of years that I'm actually very entrepreneurial. I come from an environment of entrepreneurs. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, business owners, and my career took several different paths about where I was going to go. I certainly didn't expect to be in anything to do with finance because I couldn't do math in school if my life depended on it. Anyway, my very first job out of university was, well, job, but it was a career, was real estate. And I loved real estate. I love everything to do with real estate. I got hungry for more and I started taking more courses and training and found myself in mortgage financing. And a lot of people kind of turn their nose up and go, ooh, mortgage financing. But I actually love it. I love it because it helps. Well, I help people understand how all of this works, how to get approved, how to organize and understand their finances, how to feel independent, peace of mind, and achieve their financial goal, be it home ownership or whatever the goal is. Right. It gives me such pleasure to help people achieve that.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I'm excited because today we're going to talk about empowering women to have financial confidence. And to me, just the title is so powerful because yes, we're all about, we share that common love and passion for women empowerment. And then confidence is such a strong, powerful word. And then we talk about finances, which is, like we were talking about Monday, is not always a subject that people tend to enjoy talking about it, right?
So true. It kind of gives you, we were talking about this, and what we said was, if I was to throw that word out to you and ask you what your first impulse is, your first thing that comes into your mind when I say the word, it's not always a positive thing. Yeah. It's fear and it's anxiety, or it's, almost anger, because people don't really understand how it works. And I just, money and financing is something that we all need to know. We all need to understand it because it's a basic need in life. We can't live without money. So we need to know and understand how it works and how to build it, how to grow it, save it, keep it.
Yes. So why did you choose to talk about empowering women to financial confidence?
Well,
to have financial confidence, sorry.
I'm not sure if I mentioned it yet, but I've been actually 25 years plus. I started when I was 2.
I love it.
in financing and helping people get into home ownership. And the one thing that I've learned over the years is just how important understanding money is to people, understanding how it works. And we really are not taught. Nobody anywhere has ever taught us about how it works. We grew up in an environment that no one ever really talked about it, but it's so crucial to our life.
Right.
And what I found myself doing was, you may already know this, but for generations, women in particular, not so much men, but women in particular, have always really been given a back seat when it comes to their finances, when it comes to growing personally or financially. being successful, even home ownership. Let's say as a single woman, you know, like yourself, and you say, you know what? I want to buy a house myself. Generations ago, you wouldn't have been able to walk into a bank
Right.
and say, hey, Mr. Banker, I want to buy a house.
Right.
And the first thing they would ask you is, who is going to co-sign with you?
Right.
Meaning really a male figure, a father, a brother, a husband, someone that's going to help you with, I guess what they deemed was, you know, maybe women's incomes weren't as stable, so they thought, as men. And
Right.
women weren't really given that ability to take control of their money and say, listen, this is what I want. These are my goals. This is what I want to achieve. Having said that, women have evolved immensely over the years. We have come a long way, baby.
Yes.
But it's still, there's still that piece in our brain that says, I can't do this alone. I need someone to help me. I need someone to kind of give me some guidance on that. And that is so untrue. And that's my goal, is to help women in particular see what the possibilities are to help them achieve that goal, be it home ownership or be it whatever it is that they want to achieve.
Wow. It's amazing that we're talking about that, because before I went to bed last night, I was actually reading one of the author's stories for my upcoming book. I'm a flight attendant, and that is my superpower. And two of the authors are actually women homeowners. And I was looking at my love and I'm like, wow, I am so proud of these strong, empowered women that have their own home, you know, especially now us being a flight attendant, you know, they had to find another job. And, you know, they're holding the fort, they're holding their own house, which is so amazing. And that's exactly what you're sharing with us. Oh my God, it's actually Kristen, and you're watching live. Welcome, Kristen. I was talking about you. I love when these things happen. I love it. I love it. So empowering women to have financial confidence, you know, over the years, with the role and the space that women have and the choices that we can, and it's so amazing that it has transformed, and it is still transforming. So why is it important to have money conversations, and why is it important to empower women in that specific area? Do you have an example in your life or somebody's life where you could see the power of having those conversations?
I have several stories that I can use, but one in particular, and I think I shared this with you, was a young woman came into my office. And part of the reason I mention this is because women listen to a lot of people when they want to figure things out or know something, or how do I do this or that. They depend on other people to give them that advice. And they may not get the right advice. They may not get the best advice, but they're going to get advice nonetheless. I had a lady come into my office once, and she was a young lady, probably in her early 30s. To me, that's young.
Yay.
And she had 3 children with her, 3 young children. And she was a little kind of upset with things, and she didn't understand things, and she was getting a lot of poor advice. And I kind of thought, well, I'm not a counselor, so I don't know why she's coming to see me. But the reason she chose me among many others that she was talking to was she was trying to empower herself to understand the process. And in this case, it was the process of divorce. Conversations were happening, things were being said, potential divorce was kind of, you know, down the road. And I was really impressed with this lady because she said, I want to get all my ducks in a row. I want to understand everything so that I'm empowered to be able to have conversations with my lawyer, his lawyer, you know, the possible ex, but
Right.
to have it from a strength as opposed to concern and worry and stress and all those things, because
Mhm.
people kind of eat at that. They say, well, she doesn't really understand. I'll just tell her whatever I need to tell her. And that happens a lot. Women get told this is the way it is. And what she shared with me was that she was told their house needs to be sold. In the division of assets, in a divorce, assets are split, divided, and the property will be sold. And I said, well, you know what? That is technically correct. The division of assets, all of those things can happen. But whether or not you sell the property is a decision you both make with your lawyers, and it becomes part of the separation agreement and all that. Like maybe one person's going to stay, one or the other, or you're just going to split it and take the proceeds. All of those questions weren't being addressed. All they told her was that she would have to, it would be sold and she would have to find a new place to live. That concerned her, and that was enough motivation to figure things out for herself. So she wanted to talk to lawyers and financial advisors and myself as a mortgage broker. She wanted to get all of these questions answered. And in our conversation, I said, okay, let's assume for a moment that you want to stay in the property. So as a mortgage broker, my questions were around that flow of her income and her, all those kind of things, her income, her liabilities. Right. Does she qualify for a mortgage? Those kind of initial questions for somebody that wants to buy a house, let's say, or get a house. Right. So I asked her about her income. Turns out she had a really good job. She worked for the government. Great. Then I asked her about her credit, and her credit was great. She only had one credit card. She pays it off every month. So she was hitting all the right answers. Yeah. To help her understand these things. So this is what I do. I explain it step by step by step. I said, okay, from that standpoint, everything's great. Now let's talk about the property. What is the value on the property? What is the mortgage balance on the property? Right. Mortgage payments. And I then take her personal information and the property information, put them together to see if she qualifies to carry the mortgage on her own. And it worked out very well for her. So I was able to give her like a pre-qualification so that she could take it back to her lawyer and say, okay, in the conversations around separation, this is what I want to do. Not what someone else is going to tell me that I need to do. So yes. that was the whole empowerment thing. It was saying, you know what? I am empowered to be able to make a decision for myself and not what somebody else tells me I should or shouldn't do. She walked out there with her head high and felt in control. Wow. If you want to know the end result on that story, yes, they actually did not get a divorce, but she came back about a year later to tell me that everything worked out. They I guess, negotiated and worked through their issues. And she was happy to say that they were going to stay together and stay in the same house.
Wow. Oh my God. That is such an amazing story on multiple things that I could say, but for you to be that professional that was able to guide her with the real facts, not just opinions and ideas, the real facts. This is what I've been doing for 25 plus years. What do you have? What do you need? It's so amazing. And I was just reading the quote by Steve Jobs. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown out your own inner voice.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly what you just shared.
Well, the
right?
truth is, we listen to too many people. We want to know about something. We ask our brothers or sisters or parents or cousins or friends and neighbors, but we don't ask from ourselves in our heart what it is we want, and then talk to the people that have that or understand that or can give you the answers to that. And I think that's the key. The key to all of this is communication, and it's empowering yourself with a lot of knowledge and expertise. Not expertise, because you don't need to be an expert.
Right.
He doesn't need to be an expert at anything. You don't need to be an expert at it, but it's empowering yourself to know and be comfortable with that money conversation to say, this is what I want, or this is where I am, this is what I want to achieve, and how do I get there?
I love it. I love it. You also gave me, when we were chatting, an amazing, important tip for those that are watching today that might be like, oh my God, this pandemic, a lot of financial changes and a new job or new mortgage and all that stuff that comes with it. And some people might be looking for financial advisors or might be looking for a mortgage specialist. And you told me some credible tips. Do you want to share that with the viewers today?
Well, one thing that I talked about at the beginning of all of this was that money and your income was probably the most stressful thing that everybody was going through, everybody. And we needed to kind of slow down and kind of look at the big picture, look at everything. Look at your mortgage, look at your investments, look at your, whether you had income or not, and if you didn't have income. That was the time, again, going back to the whole communication, is to talk to your lender, talk to your advisors, to people that say, this is my situation. A lot of times people don't like to talk about their situation, especially if it's extremely negative and they just don't know what to do and where the next income is coming from. It's also vitally important to talk to your lender in your mortgage, maybe, or maybe just your landlord if you're a renter. Same thing. Negotiate something, work through a process to get you from here until things are better. But also knowing where your income is and what's coming in and what you need to pay all of your debts and your liabilities and your expenses. You need to make sure you're covered there. Because the worst thing you could do is to default on anything. And too often people just put their hands up and say, I can't do this and that. I think we were talking about, sitting down with your financial advisor and explaining to them or having them work through with you a strategy, a plan. How are we going to get through this? And what do we need to do? And it may be some things as simple as reducing some of your expenses, reducing some of your liabilities. If it's a credit card, for instance, and we all know how lovely interest rates you pay on credit cards. For a lot of people, going back to their lender of that, the credit card company, and negotiating. And some credit cards, mind you, some didn't, but some credit card companies would say, okay, we're going to defer your payments for a couple of months. We'll do this, we'll lower the interest. These are things that, what I've realized, even myself, you're afraid to ask. We don't want a voice that sort of implies that I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea. I might put my hands up and I'm done. Basically just take the bull by the horn, I guess, and empower yourself with the tools. And if you don't know something, talk to the professionals that can help you through that process. The same, even like this lady did with me. And I've got many of those stories, but I'm not going to go into any of them anymore. But the fact is, they need to understand that there's voices out there, like you said with Steve Jobs. there's voices out there, and they're not telling you for your benefit. They're telling you the stories for their benefit or what they believe. And it goes back to beliefs and values, what you grew up with. And like a lot of women, for instance, you didn't talk about income and you didn't talk about all of these things. So to be able to all of a sudden as an adult say, I want to buy a house, for instance, when you've been told all your life, you can't do it on your own.
Right.
What this lady did was sit down with a professional and get all the answers, all her questions answered. And that's what's really important. Even I was talking to a colleague a while ago about divorce, for instance. And too often, we have trouble with that communication piece.
Right.
How do you bring up the conversation with your partner about how the finances are doing? What's happening with the finances? Are we, keeping up on the mortgage payments, and are we paying all our bills? And is there stuff happening that we don't know about? And I was guilty of it myself in my marriage. I was afraid to ask the questions.
Right.
And I think it's really important that women learn that it is okay to ask those difficult questions and have that confidence to say, you know what, this is what I want.
Oh, wow. We've heard it too often, right? That money causes a lot of divorces. Let's be proactive and have those difficult conversations like you're just sharing. I love it. Hello, Louise. Hello, Alain. Alain says, beautiful Wednesday, amazing ladies. I love this share, ladies. Much love to you, Alain. Welcome. I was going to say something. Yes. So what I talk about often is to invest in yourself, but also to get the help, invest into a mindset coach, invest into a trainer, because it is so important, makes such a big difference to have that support, that expert or that professional or that extra push. I am inviting you to do the same with your finances. There's so many incredible people out there, including you, Rosemary, that are willing to sit down with you. Most of the time, you don't even have to pay for your first session, right? To really guide you and take a look, hey, this is my current situation, my income, my assets, my debts. What can I do to start making a little bit of a transformation, right? I've myself been doing that work in the past year, being on 45% of my salary in the last year, having debt, and having a terrible relationship with money with big goals. So I had to sit down and face that fact, heal some things. I did some, coaching programs as well, but also now working with my financial advisor to say, okay, what little actions, cutting down expenses, groceries. Oh my God, do we ever spend so much money on groceries? And there's so many little things here and there, and that can add up to a lot. So if there is a woman watching today, what would be the best advice that you would give them to really empower them to have that financial confidence?
I think
even an action to take, right?
Well, you know what? It really starts with understanding where you're at. What is your current situation? Like you were saying, all of a sudden you're at 45% of your income. Well, that's a conversation you have with yourself that says, okay, let me look at the big picture here. Not panic, but just look at the big picture. What income I have, what are my debts, my liabilities, and all those things. You have to really take a look at it. And the one thing that resonated with a lot of people that I spoke to over the past year is, or you already alluded to it, was food. Food is the biggest piece that takes away on your income. And being home all the time now, all of a sudden, there's no more restaurants. There's no
Right.
more going out for that coffee 3 times a day or going out for drinks after work. Those
Right.
did not exist. So now all of a sudden you have that figure out how much you spent on that. And all of a sudden it's gone. So that piece has been eliminated already.
Right.
And then, you know, for me, groceries kind of went up because now all of a sudden, because I wasn't going out, I was cooking more and making more meals. And in that process was teaching myself to kind of plan for the week, organize how much I'm going to spend, and, you know, and then do it that way gradually. So, you know, I'm budgeting myself for this much, and this is what I have, and this is what I'm working with, and I'm going to make like meals count. Like buy
Right.
that big roast, for instance, that maybe cost a lot of money. But if you think about that roast from a standpoint of splitting it into 2, 3 meals,
Right.
all of a sudden you've taken that one piece and you've made 3 dinners out of it. So maybe the roast might have been, you know, $25. Divide that into 3 and it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Same with vegetables and everything else. And I found that I was saving money, and that worked really, really well. But a lot of it is just knowing where you're at and being able to be comfortable with saying, okay, I need help. I need to talk to the professionals, be it the financial advisor, as you had mentioned. Sit down with them and have a really good heart-to-heart conversation with them and say, listen, this is what I need to know. I need you to help me get from here to there. And a lot of us over the years have been really guilty of, you know, your financial advisor. You wait for your annual statement and you look to see how much money you made. And you may not have made any. But
Right.
the fact is, it should be more like a quarterly meeting with your financial advisor, or even monthly if that's the case, and talk about what is it you want? What is it you want to achieve? And like that's what I did over this past year, was say I took a look at my insurance, I took a look at my investments, I took a look at all of those pieces that I had and said, you know, are these achieving what I need to have them achieve? Do I need to take my investment now and maybe generate a little bit of income every month from that investment to carry me so I get to where I need to be? So too often we just don't have those conversations and we go into panic mode and kind of slide.
I give up. I give up.
Hope to God we get things right.
Right? Oh my God. Hey, Jessica, welcome. If you're watching live, type live in the comments. I love to see that you're still with us. So 2 things that you mentioned when we talked was really because there is a lot of financial advisors out there. There's a lot of, you know, specialists and mortgage and all that good stuff. Make sure that you were saying to have a list of questions, what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you want, but also what it is that you're looking as far as who they are, right? Go ahead.
Well, it's really important, because the fact is, you're giving all of your money. You're giving your heart and your soul, almost, I should say. But you're giving your money and your investments, and you're just entrusting them into a stranger. And, you know, I've said to people, when you're talking to investment advisors, build a relationship with them, have conversations, understand how they work.
Right.
You know, how do they get paid? Because, you know, you're giving them your money and they're making money from you. How is that happening? Like, what is it? Also, you may also want to know track records. How many years in the business have they been in? Or maybe they just started last week and they were a janitor before that. You know what I mean? It's like understanding who they are, you know, their past record. Maybe they've got testimonials from past clients. And also referrals are important too, so that you know, you're not kind of going through a directory and saying, I want to find a financial advisor. No, there's one near me, so I'll go to that person. I think it's important to build trust in a relationship and understand what they're going to do, but also be really involved with it as well, rather than just handing over that information to them and saying, grow it for me.
Right.
Be proactive, be
Right.
involved. Ask them how it's doing on a monthly basis, or do we need to make some changes, or, or I've got a big purchase I need to make. Can I pull money out to buy that home and have that down
Right.
payment, for instance? These are conversations that you need to really empower yourself with and be real comfortable with asking those questions, because like I said, you're giving them everything and you want to know that you're being looked after. They're looking after your best interest.
Very wise words. And there is incredible people out there. So
There is.
There is. I'm going to read the 2 quotes that I picked for today, and then we're going to slowly wrap up, and I'll let you finish with whatever words you want to share that's on your heart. I picked, life is tough, but so are you, especially dealing with this pandemic for over a year, especially talking about finances, which is, again, one of the hottest topics in this pandemic. So just a reminder that you are tough, you are strong, and you can empower yourself and empower the people around you. And the other quote that I picked is, I am worthy of my dreams and goals. Because I was doing an exercise last week and we were talking about dreams. And sometimes when we talk about dreams, oh my God, my dream is way too big. Like, I don't have the income right now. I don't have the time. Yet, when you look at that dream and you start looking at the little actions that you could take that might not even cost you anything to get you closer to that dream, wow, it's so incredible. So my invitation to you today, that dream was planted in you because it is achievable. And just take a look, sit down, what little action can you take daily, weekly, to get closer to that dream? So Rosemary, I'm going to let you close off. What's on your heart? What would you like to say? What we talked about today was empowering women to have financial confidence. We gave a few amazing tips for you to take a look at yourself, at your situation, and with all your wisdom and experience, what would you like to close off today's Women Empowerment Wednesday show with?
Well, I'd like to maybe add one thing that I have learned over the years is that statistically, women, single women now way surpass single men purchasing real estate. And they're not just purchasing it to live in it. Women have gotten very wise and are able to say, you know what? I want to buy investment properties. I want to have that rental income, that extra income that I need to supplement income. Women have come so far. And this is really important to understand and to know, because this is how you grow. This is how you grow financially as well. And the other piece on that is that women today, they're not settling for their job only. They're moving into careers. They're changing careers. But more importantly, they're actually starting businesses. More and more women today are starting businesses than ever before. And we see that in a lot of our networking groups here, that it's come a long way. And this is attributed to the fact that, yes, women are starting to realize that they can do it. Just do it. As my son used to tell me all the time, just do it, Mom. And forget about all those naysayers. Forget about the people that are talking behind your back and saying, you can't do it. You can't make it. And just do it. It's a good life, and we need to appreciate it, enjoy it, and empower ourselves to do that.
Yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it, love it. I want to just add, I've noticed, especially with the project that I'm working on, our friends and family, one of the reasons they do have that opinion is always out of love, but to protect ourselves. Because they've seen us be sad. They've seen us angry. They've seen us not succeed in something. And so every time their opinion comes in as far as an advice, it always is in that protection, which is, again, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that idea that was put on your heart and just do it. Just do it. Oh my God.
Well, it actually comes to listening to your brain. Your brain is protecting you.
Yes.
And it's holding things securely. You got to listen to this in here.
Yes.
Not here.
Exactly. Actually, Alain says, do it now. Now. All right. So this will conclude the Women Empowerment Wednesday show, this week's episode. If you're just joining or you want to share it, please do so. It will be shared into the Women Empowerment by Jessica DSB Facebook group. And you will also find it on my YouTube channel, Jessica DSB. Rosemary, people that have watched you today, that want to connect with you, that want to follow you, what is the best social media platform to follow you?
You can follow me on Facebook. I'm on there. I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm working on the others.
You got this. You got this.
I welcome people to come to my website, rosemarygiz.com, or just email me. Go into Facebook and message me and say, I want to have a conversation. I'm there.
Awesome. We're also going to put all those links under the video on my Women Empowerment Facebook group. So thanks to everyone that was watching with us today, that joined us. Thank you to everybody that's going to replay later this episode. I will be back next Wednesday with another very special guest, and I will all be wishing you an incredible, incredible day today, and take care.
If you have enjoyed today's episode, please share with the people that you love and care about. Jessica DSB.